Shib Army, and all my Bone token holders. What a fantastic time to be in crypto as the bull market has started. Shib, Bone, and Leash are on fire. The entire market is red, but the Shib ecosystem is in the green, going against the grain. Wow. Now, let me give you a banging update. Guys were asking me in the comment, where is the last week's update regarding the ship recap? So, here it is, and I let my boy Clifford give you the latest news. Clifford, first of all, what's going on with Binance?
I just feel I feel bad for Binance. Really, I mean, um, yeah, sure. I got to use the app for a little while. I think uh, I think maybe they were probably found out a little earlier than what was released because I noticed that one day I could use it and one day I couldn't, and I was like, well, that's strange, and I didn't really see anything about it. So now I know why that happened. But you know, in the spirit of decentralization, yeah, I think what he was trying to do eh, was the right thing from an aspect of being decentralized, and kind of bringing uh, the assets or the tokens or whatever you want to call it to the people, even if maybe you know that's not something that's uh, looked or maybe frowned upon. It's in the spirit of decentralization, I believe. And yeah, they did some things that were not right. I'm not going to justify that either, but you know, I mean, they agreed to pay the four. CZ's been holding that four up for a while, so he knew for a minute, you know, in my opinion. And I mean, I don't know what else they could possibly want here at this point besides what the points you all have pointed out here. Maybe they want to downsize them a little bit, bring in a new big player. Maybe they want them to follow some new rules or guidelines. But the problem is, and the problem has been, we don't have regulatory framework readily available that's clear cut, that explains it in a detailed way of what should be taking place, and that is the entire problem. And they left it open, I believe, on purpose because now they can, kind of. I've said this before. They kind of, you get a speeding ticket, you don't pay that ticket, they're not going to come get you right away. They're going to let that ticket get up to where it's really expensive, and either you're going to pay it or you're going to have to do some jail time. So I think it's kind of the same way, and it's the same way with the IRS if you don't pay your taxes on time and all this stuff. So I mean, they kind of let them dig their own hole. They probably knew for a very long time. You can search IPs, all that type of stuff. So I think they let them dig that hole, and now they're trying to get their way out of it. But I hate to see it. I really do. That's all I got.
That's beautiful. I got zilch to add. CC forward, copy paste. Said. Thank you. Also, real quick here, shout out to Shoei. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I do see Sheep Dream in the building. Make sure y'all check out a Sheep Dream NFT. We plugged you earlier too, big guy. Appreciate you coming through though. Let's see here. Next one, sheepcoop.io. Next one, get out my way. We are on Watch Your Guru. Brought to you by Clifford, if I'm not mistaken. U.S. inflation falls to 3.1%. Latest data reveals a welcome decline in U.S. inflation rates, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. The Consumer Price Index, the CPI, fell to 3.1% in November, down from 3.2% in October and 3.7% in September. This marks the second drop in inflation over the last 3 months, signaling that the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes may be having their intended effect of cooling an overheated economy. For over a year, the Fed has battled soaring inflation through aggressive policy tightening. They have raised interest rates significantly in an effort to slow demand and restrain prices. With the inflation proving stubbornly high, the Fed is hoping to see consistent declines as proof their strategy is working. November's CPI data provides some relief. The drop to 3.1 inflations will come as a relief to the Fed in assessing the impact of their rate hikes. While still above the 2% target, the cooling since September suggests that we might be past peak inflation and that the Fed's persistence in raising rates is helping wrestle rising prices under control. Ongoing trends will help determine the next policy moves. If the inflation continues trending down, the Fed may moderate future rate hikes, but they will want clear evidence that inflationary pressures are abating before declaring victory. For now, November's data provides some reassurance that their tightening campaign is bearing fruit. The end. U.S. inflation falling to 3.1%. Calvin J., what's your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, I'm okay. I'm gonna say the bullish narrative because I'm a tad bit like, what's going on? Like, who's making money? I'm broke, but like, not really. Like, I mean, there are better days in the market, and maybe. Now, I haven't compared these types of numbers. I have seen many campaigns from like Coinbase saying X amount of Americans are using crypto, this, that, and the third. It's something to look into, maybe. And then there are many forms of investments, and maybe not even that. Maybe more jobs available. There are many ways for people to make money and keep up with their wages. Um, shoot, I mean, even post pandemic, remote work is still among us. Here we are today. So, uh, make sure you stream Shib Recap. I'm so serious. Um, I, we're building, to say the least. It's it's uh, a pending season, I will say, because despite what like people at the Fed or even the guy himself, Jerome Powell, when they say things like they will not act according to like a catalyst, like if it's an election year, then they will move according to that. They say it will always be for the people, and they will have the people's best decision at heart, quote unquote. Uh, the people are always going to make a way for themselves, regardless of what the decision is. And the proof is in the pudding. I mean, regardless if you are, you know, your typical go to school, get a job, get a loan, get a house, or if you are a part of the newer generation and you go to school, get an Oculus, go online, teach people abroad. I don't know. There are many different ways, and I guess we're just seeing better days. I will say it wasn't much change from those people, quote, in power. Uh, this change in numbers would be a result of the community, the people's activity, and them just doing better for themselves in some type of way or degree. So I'll end it there. Appreciate you.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look at the after effects. Thank you for your thoughts there. Let's see. Sabotage, go ahead with your thoughts.
Well, usually lower inflation will signal riskier investments from a lot more individuals. So if that happens, it'll create a little bit more adaptation. You'll see more of a money flow coming in, a little bit more volatility, I'm assuming. As we seen on Sunday, I'm pretty sure Bitcoin was up and down on Sunday, down pretty good. It was all related to the FOMC meeting that they had, which was earlier today and yesterday. It all correlates together, right? So if inflation is either steady or lower, more money comes in. If inflation's higher, investors won't want to deal with higher loans. It won't be too good for crypto. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm not a fan of Jerome Powell. I hope he hears this. Thank you.
Only a click away. We'll see. And thank you for your thoughts. He is on Twitter, yes. But yeah, it's very interesting moving forward here. I think we will go up to Crypto Queen. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Jerome Powell's probably just saying this through clenched teeth today because I think everybody knows he wanted to get the target rate to 2% before he started easing or cutting rates. But I feel like this is just my opinion is that the administration put some pressure on him to say, hey, look, we're in an election year. We're coming into an election year. Let's keep people happy. So, how much of that had to do with actually feeling like inflation was under control and how much had to do with, keeping the peace remains to be seen. But yeah, I know he was, not wanting to cut this quick, but it was a great day for the market. I think everybody kind of took a deep breath that, we're not going to continue to cut as of right now. Actually, three cuts predicted for 2024. So could get kind of crazy with this market. Like Sabo said, the volatility for sure will be up for a while. We could even see those risk assets continuing to climb as well as crypto. But who knows with the markets? I think Bitcoin does what Bitcoin wants to do sometimes, and so do the markets. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen if we're going to. I think a lot of people felt like they started tightening a little too late, and maybe potentially over tightened. So um, we'll see how that affects the market in the future. But it's definitely good for risk assets as of today. Thanks, Bender.
Thank you. Good thought process. Appreciate you. We'll go to Clifford before we finish up here with Noah. Go ahead, Clifford.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, obviously, a hold today is definitely better than the latter option for sure. Um, I was thinking maybe we'd get lucky and kind of hold here. I did see where November went up 0.1% month over month. So there was a little change there, but apparently not enough for them to look at any type of raise or anything like that. And surprise to me because I actually felt like maybe inflation was a little down month over month. And I could be small minded on this, but I like to gauge some of this stuff by, when I take my visit to the gas station, when I go grocery shopping, I try to take note of the prices I paid previously and kind of judge what direction I feel like we're kind of going as far as inflation goes right now. But I'm definitely pleasantly surprised that it was a, I guess, overall positive message today, and really what Queen said that he was grinding his teeth trying not to let out too much there. He really wants to, and I think you can tell that, but he's fighting it off. He can't say, oh yeah, we're gonna come January, And by the way, next meeting is in January at the end of it. We can't say, oh, we're going to drop it a point, next month. So everybody get ready. But I mean, you can tell he's that dude's stuck in a bad spot. I wouldn't want his job for anything. And I don't know. I mean, the pressure that he could be under could be a good thing for us being in this market that we're in, because the least amount of pressure and inflation and all that type of thing, people got mm, arguably a little more money in their pockets. Maybe they'll take on some riskier trades, that sort of thing, which is really good for us in FA. But you know, I I would like to see that continue, obviously, in that direction. And today was probably the first step I heard listening to him that kind of gave me the impression that we could possibly be on that soft landing that they were talking about. So maybe it worked. My fingers are crossed. I don't want any bad to come of anything. I would much rather things be at 2% and all of us be just pumping right now. But it's going to probably be baby steps. But if we get there, hey, let's get there next year. And it's if it happens, buckle up because next year is going to be crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really interesting. We'll see moving forward. And last but not least, no one, please, if you have anything you'd like to add.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to build on what everyone has said, but first I'm going to reread one paragraph from the news, which I'm going to discuss now. This marks the second drop in inflation over the last 3 months, signaling that the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes may be having the intended effect of cooling an overheated economy. Now, if we go back in time, we know very well why the inflation has arisen. Because the money supply has been inflated ridiculously during the COVID. It's not because the economy is overheated. It's not like we are seeing businesses springing up here and there and everywhere, people making millions of money, living rich and being happy. Everyone on the streets, I think, know what the real situation is. So in case you know, the price is a function of supply and demand. The demand function is going from the top left corner to the bottom right, and the supply is from the bottom left to the top right. So what happens when the supply line is increased drastically? The price goes up a lot, but actually the amount of goods sold falls, which is what we are seeing now. So people are not getting what they used to be for the same amount of money, and even for this higher price, it doesn't mean they're able to afford more. In fact, it's the opposite. They can afford less. So the question which is in my mind, the first one is how they arrive at these numbers, because as we know, creative accounting is a real thing and election is a real thing. So probably a lot of push in the background is happening to make sure that the figures are looking nice before the elections and the people are feeling a little easier before the elections. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the economy is doing good. In fact, I am worried of the opposite. In case the inflation is falling, what does it mean? Does it mean that the economy is actually doing bad? And they have to lower the interest rates to actually prop it up a little bit. Because we know that the price is not just a reflection of the economy at this stage, but also of the incredible money supply. So they're trying to suck back all that money supply which they have issued in the past. And at the same time, there is on the side the economy, which is also a side factor which is moving by itself. So they're trying to solve two separate issues at the same time with one interest rate, which is probably impossible to do, and it's really, really hard. So, to sum it up, I don't know if it's good news or bad news. We'll have to see on the ground what the people are feeling, how the economy is doing. Those interest rates and those inflation rates are not the real indicator of the real economy. Like we said, there is a jobs data, there are the salaries, the employment, the people purchasing power, a lot of factors which go into it. It's true when the interest rates go down, then people are more likely to borrow and to invest in more risky assets. But also, we know that people are already overboard a lot, and the debt is incredibly crazy. I think I can go on about this topic for a long time. I did study applied economics at the uni, so and I was quite good at it. So it's quite an interesting topic for me, but I think we're gonna stop there. Yeah, Crypto Queen, you have a question?
No, I don't know. Tell you what though, we got Mar up here before we move on to the final topics here. Go ahead with your thought, Mar.
Yeah, man. Thank you for letting me speak. I was listening to the gentleman talking about the economy. I'm not. I'm not like super smart when it comes to economics or anything. My wife is, but um, I'm 46 years old. I lived. I don't know how. For other young people here, I lived through 2008, 2009, and it's going to take years to go through another crisis that bad. Um, I think that the U.S. government is covering up a lot by printing money, and they're keeping maybe the crisis, and they will keep the crisis way beyond less than the hit that we took back in 2008, because that was one of the backbones of this country, the properties, you know. Um, but uh, crypto is young, and uh, a lot of it, a lot of the crash that crypto had this past year was, just all the FUD, and not the FUD, but all the scams, the FTX, Celsius, you name it. I really think that this is the price that Bitcoin should have been. If we didn't have all that craziness, I think Bitcoin could have held the floor around 35 to 40,000. It's a young space, and I believe right now we're at close to 2 trillion. I haven't looked, but it's so young that I don't think like it could grow even if the economy is not that great. Not like the stock market, I think crypto could grow, and there's so much. It's so young that it's. I believe that from now on it's just growth. Uh, but I think the economy. One of the things that concern me the most, it's the debt that we have in, especially in credit cards. But it's it's not gonna be as bad as 2008 and the housing crisis. I don't think it's gonna affect the market as bad. You know, I think the hardest hit the market took was during COVID, and then this past year is just a lot of it is just FUD, really. I I'm from an area where tourists, and I see a lot of people just spending money. Um, I work right where the charging is at, and man, a lot is just cash. It's not even credit. A lot is debit and cash. People are saying, "Oh, they're just spending their credit." Not really. See, a lot of people spending, their cash. So yeah, I don't think the economy is it's gonna you know uh, be as bad as 2008. 2008 was really like crazy. And another thing I could tell, I want to say to the young investors and all that, don't concentrate in your in investing. Don't put too much mindset on things out there that we have no control of. Like there's people now talking World War III, fucking cyber attack, all this shit. You know, the next attack is going to be the one you least expect when and how. So just put your mindset on what you love to do, and you know it's always good to know and talk about stuff. But if I was you, I would concentrate on your investment, your future, and leave behind a little bit, you know, the negative news of when is the next crash, when is the next, you know, next World War III or whatever it is. You know, that's all.
Well, thank you so much, Mark, for coming up. We appreciate you. And of course, not financial advice here, but good thoughts. And thank you for taking that time. Crypto Queen, can you speak?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I was just going to get no one's thought since he's economics guru. What do you think about the risk of like disinflation or stagflation as a result of this?
Well, I'm not a really economics guru, but I don't expect that we're gonna have stagflation, because basically the money which has been printed is such a large amount that in order to consume all of it and for the prices to go back into negative territory is going to take a lot. And do keep in mind that the US government is constantly printing money. It's not like they stopped the debt ceiling and then that's it. The ceiling keeps growing every year, over and over, higher and higher, like that GIF in the Shibarium tech Discord with the lady shaking her hands, if you've seen it one day or another. And so basically I see little possibility of stagflation and the prices going back down below what they are now. But again, I'm not an expert and I'm no one. This is just my scientific guess.
Thanks, no one. Benda, we're kind of running up on our hard cutoff. Do we want to do one more article or a wrap? What do you think?
Well, I was taking a look at that there too, and I think you kind of covered the Ethereum one pretty thoroughly, I guess we'll say. But I do see Lady Rocket Eva Blastels. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Up here, if you can go ahead and speak, we'd like to hear your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Fantastic subject. I raised my hand when Mar was speaking in desire to comment. And I loved also Mar accent. Don't know where you are from, but you sound terrific. And then I saw your name is Mars 2477. I am a space entrepreneur among others. And today we are celebrating 1000 days of Mars rover on Mars, doing some incredible job for us. So just a side story. But I wanted to contribute because you know what? Mars rover is so lonely. We even have a hip hop artist writing a song about it. But my focus includes sending NFTs to the moon through Copernic Space. But I don't want to talk about it.
Back on topic, please. Back on topic, please.
Yes, I just want to add to what Mar was talking about 2008 versus today. I completely agree with him. Economy is robust, especially coming from the place that might supply new financial energy to NFT community, which is American corporations, and which, of course, in 2008 they were greatly impacted. We just launched our activities during Formula One in Las Vegas, which is a Vanity Fair showcase, temperature taking on a dynamic desire to spend by major brands, because Formula One integrates some incredible brands as sponsors, investors, participants, and money was never spent as vigorously as this year. Now, regarding NFTs that you are addressing, and Art Basel that we just came back from, Art Basel has a very interesting new majority investor that is very relevant to what you're discussing. James Murdoch, son of Rupert Murdoch, acquired 49% of ownership in Art Basel, which is as much as Swiss cantons, which own Art Basel, allow him to do. And he did it using his investment vehicle Lupa. But what's relevant to important subject that you are discussing is that James want to transform Art Basel into the digital gravity event. I love word gravity that he's using because of our space direction. But what it also means is that probably next year, or I already know Art Basel in Basel is going to have a significantly different new attitude toward also NFTs. So I completely join Mar, and I suppose all of you in having overall optimistic outlook. And let me pause here not to take up too much time from your discussion. So thank you for letting me share. I am done.
Oh, thank you, Lady Rocket. What a pleasure to have you in this space with us.
Thank you. Thank you. I
You are
very
doing an
kindly
amazing,
appreciate your warm
yeah, you're
welcome.
doing amazing things in the space. So we're so glad to have you. Please come back
Thank you.
anytime.
Thank you kindly.
Just stay on topic, please.
Also, hope you met my guy, Lads, down at Art Basel. Shout out to the Lads. Crypto Queen, did you want to go over any more topics?
I don't think so. The Coinbase one, we kind of covered that. They have a new project, Diamond, that was interesting. It's for institutional investors to trade native versions of financial instruments like debt using Base. And this is just kind of bringing it all together as far as what Coinbase is doing with their USDC connections, with their DeFi wallet, and with Base, which is independent of any other. Um, it's built on the optimism stack, but it's independent. It's their own product. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting how Coinbase, all this is coming together so that they can, go DeFi if they want to, and potentially avoid some of the regulations or sidestep them until things are decided. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But this is a product that's going to use Coinbase Prime custody services, the Coinbase wallet, and Circle USDC stablecoin combined with the layer 2 base to create a capital marketplace. And this has been approved by the Abu Dhabi global market. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And the rest of it, I think we can skip over or maybe talk about next week. There's so much news this week. I think we had, what did you say, 100 articles to go over, and we just picked some of the most recent ones and ones that we thought you guys might be interested in. But happy to share any articles that you have if you want to. Next week we do this every Wednesday night at the same time. We'd love to have you guys back and share articles that you found, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, we'd love to have everybody. This is just a group of community members, just friends that are coming together to learn more about the news, to see how it's affecting us and our investments and the economy and crypto industry as a whole. So it's been fun. Thank you, Bender, for letting us come together and do this.
Crypto Queen, you're hosting the space, so thank you. Actually,
your idea though, right?
hey, it was like legit 40 plus articles. I want to say at least 45. But no, it's beautiful and it does help me keep up and expand my mind and growth. So thank you. I tell you what, we'll go around the room here, 30 seconds to give a final thought here. We'll start off with Calvin J. 30 seconds. What's your final thought?
Boom. Make sure that you call somebody and tell them about crypto. You don't have to shield. You don't have to shield. But just those that have some say so, our congressmen, you can call them. Stand with crypto. And with everything going on in the economy, just make sure that you have a plan for yourself. Because no one can do it better than you. I'm God. Appreciate you.
Sheesh. That's beautiful, well thought out. I just talked to my mom about crypto yesterday. So big shout out to mom. No one. Any final thoughts? 30 seconds.
Yeah, the markets have some promise for the next year, potentially with the Bitcoin halving. So it's exciting. We are in exciting times. So, but always make sure that you're very prudent in your investments. Always do your own research. Do not invest more than you can afford to lose, because you can lose a lot or even everything, because the history, even though it tends to repeat itself, it also can surprise us. So if everyone is expecting that the Bitcoin will shoot up, it might actually do the opposite, because everyone is already expecting this, and it might be already priced in the markets. Because who is going to buy if everyone knows that it's going up and then everyone is going to sell? So be careful. Take your profits along the way in a small bits, so you actually earn something during this bull market when it comes. And look after yourself. Stay healthy. Drink lots of water. Do exercise. Get out of the electronic bubble once in a while. Spend time with your family, with your friends, with your pets. Go outside, get some fresh air, and the healthy mind is the most important thing for making sound decisions in your life. So take care.
Beautiful thoughts, and thank you so much, no one, for coming up here and helping us out this Wednesday. Appreciate you. Sabotage, 30 seconds. Final thoughts. Go ahead.
Thanks for hosting. Inflation is always going to be there. They're always printing money, so it's not a big issue if you think about it. You're going to know which way it's going to go. It's not going to be deflationary. It's always going to be inflationary, so that's always something to think about. The crypto market's going to grow bigger and bigger eventually. Not financial advice. Enjoy your night, and thank you for hosting.
Thank you. Well said, well put, and appreciate you too as well. Big shouts out to everybody that you're designing for. Thank you. Clifford, go ahead with your final thoughts, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Just shout out to the projects in the room tonight: Shibaswap Scrubs, Ship Dream, Lads, Ship Co-op. I think Coyote left, but shout out to all of them. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to all the hosts and speakers. Shout out to the community. Shout out to the good news today. I hope we finish out the year on a high note. Um, everybody just have a great, wonderful rest of your December. I know we'll be back next Wednesday, but I just want to say, for those who may not listen or join, happy holidays to you. And shout out to Tutti Frutti Women. Got one of their NFTs today. That is a beautiful project. Check them out for real. They're doing some amazing stuff over there with cancer and early awareness and everything like that. So shout out there. But yeah, shout out to Shibarium and also No One for being in the Shib magazine this week. That was awesome, bro. Um, And Calvin J, as soon as that track hits, I want that, please, sir. And that's all I got.
Thank you, Clifford. Appreciate you too as well. Before I go to Crypto Queen, I'm just gonna say I'm combining what everybody liked in their final thoughts. How about that? And do appreciate you all coming out here this evening and supporting the Queen. She does a whole lot, and yeah, I can't say enough. So thank you for hosting here tonight, and really appreciate you. Go ahead with your final thoughts.
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks everybody again for being here. If everybody will follow each other, that would be great. We can, continue to network, and if you heard somebody on the space that you'd like to, learn more about or would like to just have conversation with, feel free to reach out to us by DM or just on X or Discord, however you can get a hold of us. And I think that's what we love doing most is just connecting with everybody and building communities and bringing communities together. So yeah, this has been a fun night, a great way to learn about the news, and it's hopefully not so boring as listening to the regular news show because it's community members who But yeah, thanks, Lady Rocket. We really appreciate you coming tonight. And yeah, I hope you'll come back next week. We do these spaces on Sunday nights at 7:30 Eastern. We do a SHIB recap. So we talk about mainly just all the SHIB news articles and events. But then on Wednesday nights, we do the world news crypto recap, and it's at 9 Eastern. So we'd love to have you guys back. I think this is our 8th episode. So kind of just getting started here, but we have about 82 episodes of the SHIB recap. So we're also streaming through YouTube, Spotify, where else? Bender, I'm sure I missed something. But you can catch the episodes that are recorded from the SHIB recap. And then, any news we need to talk about, Bender, from the community, definitely wanted to talk about Shiv Dreams NFTs, which we did talk about at the beginning of the show. But if you guys like our PFPs and you'd like to learn more about this project, it's an amazing project that several of us are ambassadors for. And it's minting now at shibcoop.io. I did put a little bit of information about it, a recent tweet in the nest, so you can take a look at that. But lots of utilities, dreams given away, tons of prizes with NFT minting. So check that out. He's also, building Shib Dream City in the metaverse, so that's going to be exciting, and lots of prizes and awards supporting charities like St. Jude. So it's a great project. We'd love to encourage everybody to check that out if you can. And then follow us, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks, Bender.
Thank you, Crypto Queen. Again, I'm not hosting. So, did you want to have Calvin
I'm
J?
so used to you hosting on Sundays, Wednesday gig. It's tricky.
Yeah, I know you like thank you. I'm like thank you. Like I appreciate you letting me read the articles so I can learn because reading them helps me better. So no, I appreciate you. Like I said, everything else I went off on the headlines, but yeah, thank you all.
Oh, Bender, I did miss one thing I was going to mention. Tomorrow we have a big AMA. It's a mega space that's kind of like the more swap Shibarium spaces that we've been having. It's going to be, I actually put it in the nest, but I think it's 30 projects total that I'll be talking tomorrow. So definitely check that out. I'll share that as well. But that's going to be fun. The co-op is going to be featured. I know Shib Women and several projects that from Shibarium. So that should be fun, a good time to get to learn more about the project.
What time?
I have to go look. I believe it's 12 o'clock my time central, but I'll look and did I share it in the nest? I thought I did. If not, I'll go grab it
Always
and
during the
I'll tweet it
day.
out.
Coin merge is the
Thank you.
people who's doing it. Yeah, coin merge, and they're cool. I've sat in on a couple of their stuff. They're really cool.
Yeah, it should be a great space. Like I said, 30 projects. They're doing giveaways, and it's going to be a really big thing. If everybody can stay on their time, it should go pretty quickly, but with 30, it could drag out. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna tweet that out just so that you'll have it.